Have you ever noticed how, as the years pass, small things start to feel a bit harder, like your legs getting weaker, or simple trips to visit friends leaving you more tired than before? Many of us quietly accept these changes as just getting old. But what if it's not just age? What if there's more to why these visits feel so exhausting or even risky? It's a question few of us ask, yet it matters deeply. In today's video, we're going to explore the real reasons why going out to visit others might need a little extra thought once you hit your 70s or 80s. This isn't about staying isolated. It's about understanding your body and your needs better so you can stay safe, healthy, and connected in ways that truly work. Stay with me, because by the end, I'll share a simple habit that can make all the difference. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Health reasons, body changes, and increased vulnerability. For so many of us, the idea of just dropping by to see an old friend or attend a family gathering used to feel easy, almost automatic. You get your coat, maybe grab a pie to share, and head out the door. But somewhere along the way, maybe after retirement, maybe after your 70th birthday, those simple outings begin to feel different. It's not just a matter of time passing or the weather changing. You notice that the morning after a visit, you're more tired than before, maybe your joints ache a bit more, or you catch a sniffle that seems to hang around for weeks instead of days. You tell yourself, this is normal, right? Just part of getting older. Your friends say it too. We're not as young as we used to be. With a laugh that tries to hide the hint of worry. But deep down, you wonder if there's something else at play, something more than just the ticking of the clock. What if feeling this way after visiting others isn't simply about age? What if it's your body's way of telling you it needs a new kind of care, a gentle warning that deserves attention, not dismissal? Let's talk honestly about what happens as our bodies change with time, especially when it comes to health and vulnerability. Growing older isn't just about the number on your birthday cake. It's about the subtle, sometimes invisible shifts happening inside us. Scientists call it immunosenescence, a big word for the gradual weakening of the immune system that naturally comes with aging. What does that mean? Simply put, your body isn't as quick or strong at fighting off germs, viruses, or even small injuries as it once was. Remember the days when a scratch or a common cold seemed to heal overnight? Now, it can take longer. Minor infections, something as simple as a cough, a stomach bug, or even the flu, can hit harder and linger longer. This isn't your imagination. It's a proven fact. Research shows that after age 65, our bodies produce fewer white blood cells, and those that remain don't work quite as efficiently. The shields we relied on for decades aren't as reliable as they once were. It's not just about colds, either. Everyday gatherings, church services, bingo nights, even family dinners, bring us close to others, and with them, close to all the invisible germs they carry. You might feel fine, but someone else could be fighting off a bug. A handshake, a hug, a shared slice of cake can sometimes be all it takes. For younger folks, this might be a non-issue. But for those of us in our 70s and 80s, one small infection can become a big setback. There's another layer too. Our body's healing powers start to slow down. The tissues in our skin get thinner, our lungs aren't as strong, and the heart works a little harder than before. This means that when we do catch something, recovery can be slower, and complications can set in more easily. Pneumonia, for instance, is far more dangerous for seniors, often requiring hospitalization, and sometimes causing lasting effects. And here's a thought many people don't talk about enough. Visiting around, especially in the colder months or during flu season, increases our exposure to all kinds of bugs, from the common cold to more serious viruses. We may not realize how quickly germs spread in warm, crowded rooms, or how a simple cough in the air can find its way to us. So, what can we do about it? The answer isn't to lock ourselves away or give up the joys of seeing loved ones. Human connection is vital for the heart and mind. Instead, it's about visiting wisely, with a little more planning, a bit more self-care, and gentle awareness of our bodies. Start by tuning in to how you feel before and after outings. If you notice you're getting run down or catching colds more easily, that's your body asking for help. It's okay to say no sometimes, or to choose a phone call over a face-to-face meeting, especially if you're feeling under the weather. If you do decide to visit, consider going during the day when you have the most energy, and keep the visits shorter so you don't wear yourself out. Good hand hygiene is a simple but powerful tool. Carry a small bottle of hand sanitizer, wash your hands before eating, and don't be shy about using it after shaking hands or touching public surfaces. It might feel a little odd at first, but these small habits do make a difference. And if anyone in the household you're visiting is sick, even with something minor like a sniffle or sore throat, it's okay to politely postpone your visit. Your loved ones want you to be safe and healthy. There's no shame in looking after yourself. It's an act of love for everyone who cares about you. Vaccines are another important part of the picture. Staying up to date with flu shots, COVID boosters, and pneumonia vaccines can provide an extra layer of protection. Even if you were never one for shots in the past, think of these as shields that help you keep doing the things you love safely. Let me tell you about Mr. Howard, a dear neighbor of mine in Indiana. Howard is 79, sharp as a tack, and the kind of man who never missed a Sunday potluck until last year. After a particularly rough winter, when he caught the flu and ended up in the hospital for a week, Howard decided to do things a little differently. Now, he's the first to call if he feels even the slightest bit unwell, and he's become a champion hand washer. He still visits friends, but he chooses smaller gatherings, avoids crowded spaces during flu season, and never feels guilty about saying, "Not this time," when his energy is low. Howard says he feels closer to his friends and family now because every visit is intentional, and everyone respects his boundaries. "I want to be around for many more years," he says, "and that means listening to what my body's telling me." Howard's story isn't unique. It's a gentle reminder for all of us that a little care goes a long way. By acknowledging that our bodies change and responding with simple, practical steps, we don't have to give up connection or joy. We just get a little wiser about how we approach them. So here's my encouragement to you. Don't brush off those subtle signs, feeling extra tired, a lingering cough, a slower recovery. These are your body's way of asking for compassion. Permit yourself to visit when it feels right, and to rest when you need it. Keep those connections alive, but let them grow in a way that honors your health and your heart. Remember, taking care of your body isn't selfish or weak. It's the bravest gift you can give to yourself and to everyone who loves you. Every phone call, every letter, every video chat is a bridge that keeps you close, even when you choose to stay home. And when you do go out, go with confidence, because you're making choices that keep you strong and well for all the memories yet to come. You've made it this far by being wise, adaptable, and resilient. Let that same wisdom guide you now, so you can keep enjoying the company of those you love, in ways that truly nurture your body and your spirit. 2. Physical stamina and fatigue. Have you ever found yourself sitting down to rest after what used to be a simple afternoon out? Maybe a quick trip to the grocery store, a lunch with friends, or even a Sunday visit with the grandkids, only to feel completely wiped out? You tell yourself it shouldn't be such a big deal. After all, you've spent a lifetime working, raising families, hustling through full schedules, and never giving it a second thought. Now, somehow, a few hours outside the house can leave you needing a nap or reaching for the pain cream, feeling more drained than you expected. It's easy to brush this off as just getting older, or to feel frustrated with yourself for not having the same energy you did at 40 or 50. But what if there's more to the story than simply aging? What if this physical fatigue isn't a sign of weakness or defeat, but a natural change in your body's rhythm? A change that deserves attention, understanding, and a bit of grace. Let's take a closer look at why stamina and energy levels tend to shift as we move into our 70s and 80s. The truth is, our bodies are remarkable, but they're not machines. They're living, breathing, ever-adapting works of art. Over time, muscles lose some of their strength and mass, even for folks who were active all their lives. This process, known as sarcopenia, is a normal part of aging, but it can sneak up on you. Without regular strength-building activity, we lose about 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade after the age of 30, and that pace can speed up after 60. Muscle isn't just about looking toned or being able to lift heavy things. It's the foundation for your stamina and balance. When you have less muscle, you naturally tire more easily. Everyday activities, carrying groceries, standing in line, gardening, require more effort than before. The heart and lungs, too, can become less efficient with age, which means your body has to work harder to get oxygen to those working muscles. It's no wonder a walk that once felt easy now seems to take more out of you. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Fatigue can also be compounded by changes in sleep patterns, medications, or even subtle dehydration. As we age, our sense of thirst dulls, so it's not uncommon for older adults to become mildly dehydrated without realizing it. Even mild dehydration can leave you feeling sluggish and sap your stamina before you've even started your day. So, what can you do to support your stamina and make the most of your energy? The first step is to recognize that pacing yourself isn't just allowed, it's smart. This is your time, and you've earned the right to approach each day in a way that feels good for you. Permit yourself to schedule rest periods, spread out activities, and avoid stacking too much into one day. Next, consider ways to gently rebuild and maintain your muscle strength. No, you don't need to hit the gym for intense workouts. Simple, consistent movement is powerful. Walking around the neighborhood, light stretching, chair yoga, or using light hand weights at home. The key is to keep your muscles engaged, even if it's just for a few minutes at a time. Resistance bands, those stretchy exercise bands, are inexpensive and can be used sitting or standing, offering great benefits with low impact. Staying hydrated is an easy but often overlooked solution. Keep a water bottle handy and take small sips throughout the day, even if you're not especially thirsty. Try to limit caffeine and alcohol, as both can lead to dehydration and mess with your energy levels. It also helps to eat small, balanced meals that include protein. Many older adults fall into the habit of eating less protein than they need, which makes muscle loss and fatigue worse. Eggs, fish, chicken, beans, or even Greek yogurt are easy additions to help keep your muscles and energy up. Now, let me share a story about someone who found new ways to manage fatigue. My friend Dorothy from Michigan. Dorothy is 76, a proud grandmother, and she used to bake 3 pies and host Sunday dinner for her entire family every single week. But over the last few years, she started noticing that after those family gatherings, she felt completely wiped out for days. It wasn't just physical tiredness. It was an exhaustion that seemed to go all the way to her bones. At first, Dorothy tried to push through, telling herself she just had to keep moving, but her fatigue only got worse. Eventually, she realized something needed to change. With a bit of encouragement from her doctor, Dorothy started breaking up her tasks. She'd prep pie crusts one day, make fillings the next, and set the table early in the morning while she felt fresh. She also began to enlist her grandkids to help, turning baking into a group activity instead of a solo marathon. Dorothy was surprised at how much energy she had left at the end of the day, and how much more she enjoyed her time with family when she wasn't exhausted or irritable. Dorothy also started taking a short walk every afternoon and making a habit of drinking a glass of water before every meal. She says the change was remarkable. "I used to think needing rest was a weakness," she told me. "But now I see it as wisdom. Knowing my limits means I have more to give, not less." This is the heart of it. Taking care of your stamina isn't about giving up the things you love, but about finding new ways to enjoy them fully. Give yourself the gift of pacing, of saying yes to help and no to overdoing it. If you have a big event planned, like a birthday, holiday gathering, or even just a day out, schedule a quiet day before and after to rest and recharge. Don't forget to listen to your body. If fatigue comes on suddenly, is severe, or doesn't go away with rest, it's always smart to check in with your healthcare provider. Sometimes, underlying issues like anemia, thyroid changes, or medication side effects can contribute to low energy, and those can often be managed with the right care. Remember, every season of life brings its rhythm. What feels like a slowdown is an invitation to move at a pace that honors your body and keeps you going strong for all the moments and memories ahead. Ask for support when you need it, and know that you're not alone. Millions of older Americans are making the same adjustments, learning new tricks, and embracing the beauty of this stage. You've earned every bit of wisdom and every right to protect your energy. Pacing yourself, staying hydrated, moving a little every day, and eating well are simple gifts you can give to yourself. And when you feel that familiar fatigue, don't fight it, listen. Rest is not a sign you're falling behind, but a sign you're taking care of yourself for the long road ahead. The world still needs your stories, your laughter, your presence at the table. By managing your stamina wisely, you'll have more of yourself to share, not just for one afternoon, but for many, many years to come. 3. Emotional and mental well-being. Avoiding stress and social pressure. Have you ever sat quietly in your living room, the TV humming softly in the background, and felt a weight settle on your chest? Not from physical tiredness, but from something you can't quite name? Maybe it's the thought of the upcoming family gathering or the Sunday church potluck, or perhaps a neighbor's invitation for coffee that, for some reason, leaves you more anxious than excited. You might wonder, why do I feel this way? Isn't being social supposed to make me happy? It's a feeling so many older adults experience but rarely talk about. The quiet pressure to keep up with visits, phone calls, group outings, or even just to say yes when you'd rather say maybe later. For years, you might have been the center of every event, the reliable friend who never missed a birthday, or the grandparent who always showed up, cookies in hand. But now, these invitations can sometimes feel less like joy and more like obligation. Is it just getting older, or could there be something more to the discomfort and stress that seem to creep in around social expectations? Let's turn this question on its head for a moment. What if pulling back from certain social events, or even just wanting more quiet time, isn't a flaw or a failing? What if it's your heart and mind's way of seeking a new kind of peace, one that prioritizes true connection over simply keeping up appearances? As we age, our emotional landscape shifts just as surely as our physical health. It's common for older adults to become more introspective, more aware of how they want to spend their precious time and energy. Scientists and gerontologists have found that our social needs don't disappear with age, but they do often become more refined. We may crave fewer large gatherings and more one-on-one conversations. We might long for real, meaningful connections rather than feeling pressured to make the rounds at every holiday party or neighborhood event. Why is this? For one, our resilience to stress isn't what it used to be. The brain's chemistry changes with age. Levels of serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter, naturally decline. The tools we once had for coping with anxiety, overcommitment, or social friction might not feel as sharp. At the same time, we become more attuned to what truly makes us feel good. Authentic relationships, meaningful conversations, and time spent in comfort rather than chaos. It's also important to remember that life brings its share of losses and transitions as we grow older. Retirement, changes in health, the passing of friends or loved ones, all these can subtly shift how we view our place in the social world. Sometimes, the pressure to be social is a pressure to prove we're still engaged, still relevant, still the person we used to be. But the truth is, you have every right to redefine what social satisfaction means for you today. So, how can you gently protect your emotional and mental well-being without shutting the world out or disappointing loved ones? First, permit yourself to pause. Before accepting an invitation or committing to a gathering, take a quiet moment to ask, will this bring me peace or pressure? If you're feeling worn out or if the thought of attending fills you with dread rather than anticipation, it's okay to decline or suggest a different way to connect. True friends and family will understand. Often, they'll even appreciate your honesty. Next, focus on the quality, not quantity, of your connections. Maybe you don't need to be at every community event or family dinner. Instead, prioritize the interactions that feed your soul. A phone call with your daughter, coffee with a close friend, or a walk in the park with your neighbor. Deep, meaningful conversations, even if less frequent, can leave you feeling more uplifted and less stressed than a room full of small talk. Here's a simple, everyday solution. Set gentle boundaries. This could mean choosing a time limit for visits. I'd love to come for an hour, but I'll need to leave by 3. Or being clear about your comfort levels. I'm not up for big crowds these days, but I'd love to see you one-on-one. Boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges that help you stay connected in ways that feel safe and authentic. If you're feeling overwhelmed by expectations, try sharing your feelings with someone you trust. Sometimes, just saying, I've been feeling a little stretched thin lately, opens the door to understanding. You might be surprised at how many others, of all ages, feel the same way but are afraid to admit it. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let me tell you about Clara, a neighbor of mine in North Carolina. Clara turned 82 last fall, and for most of her life, she was the heart of every gathering. She made every holiday magical, ran church bake sales, and never missed a birthday. But in recent years, she found herself dreading big events, returning home emotionally drained and sometimes even tearful. After a heart-to-heart with her daughter, Clara realized that she wasn't failing her family. She was simply changing. Together, they agreed to scale back on big parties and focus instead on quiet dinners, Sunday calls, and the occasional visit with a few close friends. Clara says she feels lighter, and more herself than she has in years. Clara's experience isn't unique. Studies have shown that older adults who spend their time with a smaller, trusted circle tend to report higher life satisfaction and lower stress. It's not about having a packed social calendar. It's about treasuring the connections that truly matter. If in-person gatherings are still important to you, consider smaller group activities, like joining a book club, knitting circle, or a local walking group. These settings allow for deeper bonds without the noise and pressure of big events. If you're not up for going out, technology can be your friend. Video calls, group chats, even sending letters or emails are all wonderful ways to stay close from a comfortable distance. Above all, remember that protecting your emotional and mental well-being is not selfish. It's a wise act of self-care that honors both your past and your present. Each season of life brings new joys and new challenges. By listening to your heart and respecting your needs, you're paving the way for meaningful connection without unnecessary stress. So, if you feel that pressure, the silent tug to say yes when your spirit wants to say no, pause. Give yourself grace. Choose the moments and people that bring warmth, not worry. Your well-being is a gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone who loves you. You've spent decades giving to others, holding families together, and showing up when it mattered most. Now, let your wisdom lead the way. Let your later years be a time of peace, real connection, and gentle joy on your terms. Your heart knows what it needs. Trust it, and you'll find more comfort, freedom, and happiness than you ever thought possible. 4. Safety concerns. Avoiding accidents and risks. Have you ever found yourself hesitating at the front door, car keys in hand, weighing whether you want to head out for that lunch, church service, or afternoon card game? Maybe it's the icy sidewalk in winter, the worry about crossing a busy parking lot, or even just the fear of getting tired halfway through a busy day. For many of us in our 70s and 80s, these quiet moments of hesitation are more common than we like to admit. After a lifetime of coming and going freely, it can be jarring, and sometimes even embarrassing, to realize that our world now holds a few more risks than it once did. So, is it just natural to become more cautious as we age? Or is there something deeper at play? Something about our bodies, our reflexes, and even the world around us that truly changes? Should we keep pushing through, or is there wisdom in slowing down and making safety a top priority? It's a question worth considering. Many older adults grew up in an era where independence was everything, where asking for help felt like admitting defeat. But science and experience both tell us that our bodies do change with time. Our reaction times slow down. Our vision, especially at night, isn't as sharp as it once was. Muscles that once helped us hop over puddles or climb stairs without thinking can now feel weaker or stiffer. Balance, too, can become more delicate. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 Americans over 65 falls each year, and falls are the leading cause of injury-related visits to the emergency room for seniors. But falls and accidents don't just happen at home. They can just as easily occur when we're out and about, visiting friends, running errands, or simply enjoying the neighborhood. Slippery sidewalks, uneven curbs, poorly lit hallways, and even unfamiliar routes all become potential hazards. And it's not only falls. Older adults are at greater risk for accidents while driving, especially at night or in bad weather. Our bodies just don't process information or react as quickly as they did in our younger years, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply part of the journey. So, what can we do? Does staying safe mean giving up the activities we love, or can we take thoughtful steps to enjoy life while lowering our risk? Let's start with one of the simplest solutions: a plan. If you're heading out, take a moment to look at the weather. Rain, ice, or snow can make sidewalks and driveways treacherous. Wait for a dry day if you can, or ask a neighbor or loved one to help you get where you need to go. If walking, choose routes you know are flat and well-maintained, and avoid shortcuts that take you through rough or poorly lit areas. Footwear is another easy win. Shoes with good tread and sturdy support can make all the difference. Leave those old slippers or dress shoes for indoors, and invest in a comfortable pair with non-slip soles for outside the house. If you use a cane or walker, make sure it's in good condition and suited to the ground you'll be walking on. Driving safely is its topic, but it's worth saying, listen to your gut. If you're not comfortable driving at night, in heavy rain, or on unfamiliar roads, there's no shame in asking for a ride, calling a taxi, or using a senior transportation service. Many communities offer free or discounted rides for older adults, and it's a great way to keep your independence while staying safe. When you're out and about, take your time. There's no rush. Give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going so you're not tempted to hurry across a busy street or skip that handrail on the stairs. Remember, those little safety features, handrails, crosswalk signals, even benches for resting, aren't just for old people. They're for smart people who know that staying safe keeps them in the game. Let me share a story that brings these ideas to life. A few years ago, my uncle, Jim, turned 78. Jim was always fiercely independent, a former Marine who prided himself on never needing help. One winter, after a light snow, he insisted on walking 3 blocks to his favorite diner, just as he had for years. He slipped on a patch of ice, fell hard, and broke his wrist. That accident shook his confidence more than he wanted to admit. But instead of giving up his outings, Jim changed his approach. He bought a pair of sturdy boots with extra grip, started carrying a foldable walking stick in bad weather, and found a neighbor who was happy to join him for breakfast a few times a week. These changes didn't take away his freedom. They gave him more of it. Jim said he enjoyed his outings more, knowing he was prepared and had someone to share them with. And that's the heart of this message. Making safety a habit doesn't mean losing your independence. It's the key to protecting it. When you prepare, plan, and ask for help when you need it, you're investing in years of joyful, worry-free living. It's also worth talking about home safety before and after you go out. Make sure your path to the car or sidewalk is clear of clutter, leaves, or ice. If you have steps, Install a sturdy handrail. Keep a flashlight by the door if you go out in the evening. Let someone know where you're going and when you expect to return, especially if you're going somewhere new. Finally, remember that you don't have to do everything alone. In many American communities, neighbors and friends are more than willing to help out, but sometimes they just need to be asked. Joining a walking group, a church carpool, or a local senior club can make outings safer and more enjoyable. Even the simple act of having a walking buddy can turn a risky errand into a pleasant routine. If ever you feel hesitant or unsure, trust your instincts. If a situation feels unsafe, whether it's a slippery path, a late-night drive, or an unfamiliar neighborhood, choose caution over pride. You're not missing out. You're making a wise choice for yourself and your loved ones. To everyone listening, I want you to hear this. Staying safe is not about giving up on life. It's about living smarter, longer, and with more confidence. The world still has so much to offer, and with a little planning and self-care, you can keep enjoying every bit of it on your terms. Your experience, your wisdom, and your company matter. Don't let unnecessary risks stand in the way of sharing them. You've spent a lifetime overcoming obstacles, adapting to change, and finding joy in the everyday. Now, let your experience guide you. Let caution and confidence walk side by side. Take that extra moment to plan, to ask for help, to prepare for the weather, and to put your safety first. By doing so, you'll ensure that every outing, every visit, every adventure, big or small, brings nothing but good memories and the promise of many more days ahead. So go ahead and step out into the world, but do it safely, wisely, and always with the assurance that your well-being comes first. You've earned it. 5. Maintaining relationships in safe, suitable ways. If you close your eyes for a moment, you can probably remember a time when staying connected was as simple as stopping by a neighbor's house, dropping in for coffee unannounced, or having a spontaneous barbecue with friends in the backyard. Those easy, unplanned moments were the glue that kept families close and friendships strong for generations. But as the years roll on, and especially as we grow older, those simple connections can feel just a bit more complicated. Maybe it's health worries, maybe it's mobility, or maybe it's just the busyness of life and the changing times. Whatever the reason, the question for so many seniors isn't whether relationships matter, but how to keep them alive in ways that are safe, comfortable, and truly meaningful. It's tempting to think that if we're not seeing people face to face all the time, those bonds will simply fade. But is that true? Or could it be that relationships, like people, can adapt and even thrive in new ways as life changes? As we age, our needs, priorities, and comfort zones naturally evolve. The large family reunions, noisy birthday parties, or crowded events that once energized us may now feel overwhelming or even risky. Our health and safety become more important, and that's nothing to feel guilty about. Science shows that maintaining strong social connections is one of the most important keys to healthy aging. Loneliness and isolation can raise the risk of heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline, while meaningful relationships boost the immune system and help us live longer, happier lives. But connection doesn't have to look the same as it did 30 or 40 years ago. In today's world, there are so many gentle, creative ways to keep relationships strong while respecting your boundaries and well-being. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. One of the simplest, most powerful solutions is to embrace technology, not as a replacement for in-person visits, but as a tool for staying close when you can't be together physically. Video calls, emails, and text messages have become lifelines for millions of older Americans, allowing grandparents to watch their grandkids grow up from afar, friends to share laughter across the miles, and siblings to offer comfort and advice at any hour. It might feel awkward at first, maybe even intimidating, but with a little practice, these new habits can become second nature. Don't be afraid to ask a family member or neighbor to help you get set up, and don't be embarrassed if you make a mistake. Everyone started somewhere, and most people are delighted to lend a hand. Of course, technology isn't the only answer. Traditional ways of keeping in touch still hold magic: a handwritten letter, a card for no reason at all, or even an old-fashioned phone call. There's something deeply special about hearing a familiar voice or finding a note in your mailbox, knowing that someone was thinking of you. For those times when in-person visits are possible and safe, consider quality over quantity. Instead of rushing from one gathering to the next or feeling obligated to attend every event, choose a few special moments to savor. Smaller, more intimate get-togethers, like a quiet lunch with a friend, a walk in the park, or a board game night with your grandkids, often lead to deeper conversations and richer memories than a crowded house ever could. When you do get together, take simple precautions. Meet outdoors when the weather is nice, wash hands before meals, and don't hesitate to reschedule if someone isn't feeling well. Let me tell you about Mary and her friend Ethel, both in their late 70s and living just a few blocks apart in Ohio. Before the pandemic, the two met every Thursday at a local diner for breakfast. When those weekly outings became impossible, they didn't let their friendship slip away. Instead, they started a new ritual. Every Thursday, one would call the other at exactly 9 a.m. They'd sip coffee over the phone, sometimes chatting for hours, sharing recipes and family news just as if they were still sitting across the booth. Now that they're comfortable venturing out again, they still keep their phone breakfast tradition alive on rainy days or when getting out is just too much. Their friendship hasn't just survived the changes of age and circumstance, it's flourished. Stories like Mary and Ethel's are happening all across America. Many seniors have found that setting regular dates for calls or letters gives them something to look forward to each week. Others are starting new group traditions, like virtual book clubs, Zoom bingo nights, or small potluck dinners in the backyard. The point isn't how you connect, it's that you keep reaching out, in ways that feel comfortable and joyful for you. If you ever feel unsure about how to bridge the gap, try sharing your feelings honestly. Tell your loved ones what makes you feel safe and happy. Most people, especially your children and grandchildren, want to spend time with you in whatever way works best. Maybe it means meeting for coffee in the garden instead of a crowded restaurant, or having game night over video chat instead of around the table. When you set gentle boundaries, like asking for shorter visits, meeting outdoors, or skipping large gatherings, you're not pushing people away. You're inviting them into your life in a way that honors everyone's well-being. It's also important to pay attention to how you're feeling, emotionally and physically, after social interactions. If you notice that certain visits leave you exhausted or anxious, that's a sign to adjust your approach. On the other hand, if a regular call or walk with a friend lifts your spirits, lean into that habit. The wisdom of age includes knowing that you get to decide how you spend your time and with whom you share your energy. For some, maintaining relationships also means letting go of the pressure to be everything to everyone. It's okay to say no when you need to, and to trust that true friends and family will understand. Focus on a smaller circle of trusted people, those who lift you and make you feel loved, seen, and respected. Research shows that a few strong, genuine connections bring more joy and health than a dozen shallow acquaintances. If you're part of a faith community, a senior center, or any group you love, look for ways to stay involved at your own pace. Maybe that's joining services online, attending small group meetings, or even volunteering from home by making phone calls or writing notes to others who might feel isolated. At the heart of all this is a simple truth. Relationships are not about how often you see someone, but about how deeply you care and how willing you are to reach across the miles or the months to say, "I'm thinking of you." Every card, every call, every shared story is a thread in the tapestry of your life. So here's my encouragement to you. Don't let worries about safety or changing routines keep you from the warmth and comfort of friendship and family. Stay open to new ways of connecting, and be gentle with yourself as you learn what works best in this season of life. The most important thing is not how you connect, but that you do. Because every relationship you nurture, no matter how, brings more light, laughter, and meaning to your days. You have spent a lifetime building bridges. Now is the time to cross them at your own pace, with confidence and joy, trusting that love, once planted, always finds a way to grow. As we reach our 70s and 80s, life changes in ways we never quite expected. Our bodies may not move as quickly as they once did. Our energy ebbs and flows. And sometimes, those simple outings or visits that used to fill us with joy now bring hesitation, or even worry. But what hasn't changed, and never will, is our need for connection, love, and belonging. We've talked about the real reasons it's wise to pause before saying yes to every invitation. The shifts in our health, the reality of fatigue, the importance of emotional well-being, and the small but serious risks that come with each trip out. But if there's one message to take from all this, it's that your needs matter. You have earned the right to put your health and peace of mind first, and to build relationships in ways that truly suit you. Connection isn't measured by how often we see each other face to face, but by the care and intention we put into every call, letter, or shared story. It's about quality, not quantity. About choosing moments that fill you with warmth instead of worry. So, as you consider your next visit or gathering, listen to your body, trust your instincts, and remember, there are many ways to stay close to those you love while keeping yourself safe and well. Your wisdom, your joy, and your presence are gifts. Give them with kindness, to yourself first and then to those who matter most. If this video resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. What did you learn, and how will you care for yourself in the days ahead? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more supportive stories, because you deserve every good day ahead.